Okay, my name's Captain Jack Kennedy. It's Jackkenedy. I'm a captain at the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and I am the commander of the Multi-Agency Violent Crimes Unit. I'm here today to give updates on the murder that occurred at Landmark Apartments on January the 28th. This case has been ongoing since that time. It's been a very complex investigation, and because of that, some of the facts of this has been held until now as we work to get these suspects in custody. But a few facts of the case. On January the 28th, Tuscaloosa Police was dispatched to Landmark Apartments on a shots fired call. Other callers also reported that it may have possibly been a car break-in. Officers arrived on scene and they located a subject, a male, in a vehicle. They got out to check on that vehicle and found out that he had been shot multiple times and was deceased. And the Violent Crimes Unit assumed the case at that point. The victim was identified as a DeMarcus Hall, and he was 30 years of age. Our investigation found out that Hall was not a tenant of that apartment complex, but was there visiting friends. And our investigation also determined that he had been targeted individually for a robbery, and subsequently shot. So this incident didn't have anything particularly to do with that individual apartment complex. Illegal drugs were involved in some aspects of this case. The suspects that we developed in this case, which you see here on the board behind me, and there's other persons of interest that we're currently investigating, are a bit older than our normal suspects. The youngest one is 31, one is 34, and Mr. Keandre Grant there is in his 40s. They all have extensive criminal histories between them. And these subjects took great pains to obscure their crime, destroy evidence, and elude capture. And because of that, this investigation has been nonstop, ongoing, and we've held some of these facts close to us until we can get these subjects in custody. I would like to take the time right now to point out that this entire case, and many others that we work, but this one in particular is so impressive because of so many different police agencies and units that work together on this. And just a few of those, of course, we have the Multi-Agency Violent Crimes Unit, but we also utilize the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office Cyber Unit and Crime Scene Units, and Tuscaloosa Police Department's Cyber Unit and their Major Crimes Crime Scene Unit. And that does seem redundant, but all four of those individual units working in different capacities contributed greatly to this case. We also, the West Alabama Narcotics Task Force and their agents were an integral part of multiple facets of this investigation, as well as the West Alabama U.S. Marshals Task Force, who eventually located and arrested 2 of our subjects. All of these different units from different agencies work together as a team, and it's because of that teamwork that this case was able to get to this point, and I can't say enough about that. And it's just a good example of all the agencies in our county sharing the different resources. So, we do have multiple cyber units, we do have multiple crime scene units. They have different specialties and capabilities unique to each one of those and are used at different times. And in a case like this, everyone participated. I also would like to mention that this investigation is not over. Just because we've made an arrest, it is not the end of it. We believe that there's other people out there that have more information about this, and we encourage them now to come forward. Citizen involvement was a key part of this investigation. From the night of the shooting and the original 911 calls to later follow-ups with witnesses and other people providing information, it was crucial. And I want to encourage that to continue with our community here. The citizen support and community involvement is so important to work alongside the law enforcement in your community to make these things happen. But at this time right now, these 3 individuals here have been charged. This gentleman here is Keandre Grant. He's 44 years of age. He's been charged with capital murder. And that's murder during the course of a robbery. He was arrested yesterday on Valentine's Day by the U.S. Marshals Smoky Mountain Regional Task Force in Shelbyville, Tennessee, with the assistance of the Shelbyville Police Department. Mr. Grant's prior offenses include robbery, domestic violence, and strangulation, and he's also been convicted previously of the crime of murder. He was charged and convicted of murder in 1996 and received a 20-year sentence. He's currently being held pending extradition procedures, and once that is complete, he'll be transported to our county jail here to be held with no bond. Gentleman here in the middle, Jamil Prentice, he's 34 years of age. He's been charged with conspiracy to commit robbery. He was arrested on February the 1st, 2024. He's currently been released on $60,000 bond, but he is still currently on that charge, but he is still currently in custody in another jurisdiction on charges there. So he is still in custody and is not at large. And last gentleman here, Rashad Aaron, he's 31 years of age. He's been charged with felony murder, robbery, and he also had outstanding paperwork on a burglary first charge, and that's been revoked as well. He was arrested on February the 6th, and he's currently being held in Tuscaloosa County Jail with no bond pursuant to a NISE law. His prior offenses include robbery and burglary. So particularly these two on the sides, Rashad Aaron and Keandre Grant, have extensive violent felonies, including murder in one case, in their past. And these are individuals that we believe are responsible for this. And as I said, this investigation is still ongoing, and we do believe that there's more people out there that can provide us more information, and that may eventually equate to more arrests.
Are all three from Tuscaloosa, and how do they come to target this guy who lived at the apartment complex? Do they know him?
Yeah, they're all from Tuscaloosa at this point, and as to the other part of your question, I'm gonna have to hold that in pending the investigation and in the court process there in the grand jury. So.
Do you know if all three suspects are connected? Like, if they know each other?
Yes, they knew each other, obviously. Yes.
The only reason I asked is because you have three guys who targeted one individual, so they obviously knew he must have.
Correct. Yeah, they targeted him because they believe, I don't know what they believe, but they targeted him. We have evidence to show with the intent to commit a robbery, and that was either for drugs or money, or both. So we have the evidence to show that, and that was their intent during that time, and we believe that the victim was shot during that.
But you're not able to say at this point whether they knew the victim?
They targeted him, so they knew of him of course, to some degree. They individually targeted this individual for a robbery. It wasn't a random encounter. This was a planned out, orchestrated, multifaceted operation. And as I said earlier, after the crime, they took great effort to destroy evidence, obscure their identities, destroy, any type of possible witnesses that we had, and elude capture. These gentlemen showed that they have age and experience when it came to this. But unfortunately for them, the Violent Crimes Unit has more. So I can't speak enough to how hard these individual investigators worked, along with all the other agencies. Narcotics was integral in this. The crime scene units were integral in this. And it has been a full court press, and the success of this investigation cannot be understated about how hard they worked and how hard these gentlemen worked to elude being identified, charged, and captured. And I'm so proud of the work they've done that here they are today.
Jack, how important is it to get these all three in custody and get closure for the victim's family? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no way that we can bring that gentleman back. He made some decisions in his life that I'm sure he wishes, or his family wishes he didn't make, but that in no way makes him he should not have been victimized and murdered because this gentleman's already committed a murder in his past. So these are dangerous individuals, and it is what it is.
What would you say to like somebody who's sitting home watching this and they know something? I know you mentioned.
Yeah, call us. Call the Violent Crimes Unit. If you're not comfortable with us, call a law enforcement officer that you do trust. Okay, they can get in touch with us and vet that. We often have that happen, that people they don't want to call cold call and do something. If you know a law enforcement officer in your family or a friend or a neighbor, go call them, they can talk to us, be a middleman, and help us get that information. If you're concerned about anonymity, can be utilized in this case or any case as well.
Captain, have any of the suspects confessed?
I'm not going to discuss that pending our investigation and our presentation to a grand jury.
Are you able to talk about how many times the victim was shot?
No. I'm not going to get into any specifics like I normally don't. Like you said, we have a court process to go. Our system in America allows these suspects their due process, and we want to make sure we don't do anything to hamper any of that would jeopardize our successful process, or the district attorney's successful prosecution of this case.
Can you say when you'll have more information available, or?
I will not release any specifics. Like I said, the next step of this will be multiple court hearings, preliminary hearings. If y'all would attend those, there may be information that comes out during those, but I'm not going to release that ahead of time because that's not my role. The prosecution of the case will be the district attorney's office, and they will be the ones that will be in charge of any release, and they probably won't either unless it's in a judicial setting.
Yes,
All
sir.
Thank you, Jack.
All right.
Know whether any of the guys have had their arraignments yet? Any idea?
No, I believe Mr. Aaron has had his NIA's bond hearing, during which the judge returned a no bond on him. And of course, Mr. Prentice has already posted bond, but he's still in custody in another county.
Thank you very much.
All right.